the best person I've ever met in my life. Like, she really had an impact on you.
Because of her, I know these beautiful ladies right here. She was the link for all of us.
Angelica James would move mountains if it meant seeing those she cared about smile.
"38-year-old Angelica James was described by family and friends as a really positive, gentle, quiet, bright, and bubbly person. She was also the mother of 4 beautiful children whom she absolutely adored. Angelica loved being a mother and had an amazing bond with all 4 of her children. She was also a dedicated worker with a creative side that helped her run her own business, making custom-designed gifts. She named it Seasons Creations after her youngest son. Angelica was also involved in a tumultuous on and off again relationship with a 32-year-old man by the name of Christopher Gordon. Her friends described him as having weird vibes and a controlling spirit that never quite sat right with any of them. Christopher has a history of violence that includes domestic violence towards Angelica. In November 2020, he was arrested after he was accused of striking her and throwing her to the ground. Christopher then took Angelica's keys and left the scene in her car. He was sentenced to 2 years of supervised probation in that case. In January 2019, he was arrested for assaulting a woman. First, he kicked in her door, then drug her into a vehicle and hit her with a closed fist. After he placed his hand around her neck and applied pressure, she managed to escape by jumping from the moving vehicle. She was 32 weeks pregnant. He got 2 years probation in that case as well. He was also convicted of reckless homicide in the 2009 fatal shooting of a 17-year-old boy in Louisville, allegedly over a moped, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. It isn't clear as to whether the two were officially together or simply co-parenting for the sake of their 2-year-old son. Angelica will post several pictures to her Facebook page as recent as December 25th, 2021, with the following captions: "From my family to yours," as well as a picture of them attending church together, as well as a caption where she proclaimed her love for him. However, an event would occur that would cause Angelica to end the relationship and move out of the home they shared. Christopher allegedly pistol whipped her oldest son. Although she left the home, he would eventually locate her. Around 4 p.m. on February 27th, Louisville Metro Police were dispatched to the 4100 block of Quiet Way regarding a shooting. The first officers on scene would find an adult female and a child suffering from gunshot wounds.
Police responded to this block around 4 p.m. Sunday. That's where they found 38-year-old Angelica James dead in a car. She was shot multiple times, and she wasn't alone.
Sadly, Angelica was pronounced dead at the scene. She died in the arms of her oldest son, who ran out in an attempt to save her. Her 10-year-old son, who was shot in the hand as well as the shoulder, while also witnessing the death of his mother, was transported to a hospital for treatment. Court documents show that Christopher violated terms of his probation back in January and was due for an upcoming court hearing to review consequences of that violation. But before that could happen, he brutally murdered her.
The history between the suspect on the run and the woman killed in Sunday's Newburgh shooting runs for years. Court records show in early 2021, Christopher Gordon was ordered not to have contact with Angelica James after pleading guilty to assaulting her in 2020.
It really appears to me that the mistake was made when that third domestic violence in 5 years, when that was not pursued as a felony.
A district judge also mandated he take part in counseling. Fast forward a year, more issues for Gordon. First Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Erwin Roberts tells us Gordon absconded from his probation, something retired Judge Janice Martin says is likely a missed meeting.
The probation officer couldn't find him, or he didn't keep his appointments. That's what that typically means.
In response, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office made a motion to take away probation privilege, potentially opening the door for harsher penalties. Now, as police search for Gordon, the questions of what if start creeping in.
So it is surprising that he is out on the streets.
Her friends were shocked and saddened by the murder and vowed to be there for her 4 boys. A vigil was held at the very spot where she lost her life.
She was the best person I've ever met in my life. Like, she really had an impact on you.
Because of her, I know these beautiful ladies right here. She was the link for all of us.
Angelica James would move mountains if it meant seeing those she cared about smile.
There was times when us three were invited to her family reunion because that's just how she saw her friends.
It's why it's hard for those like Nikisha Marshall to say goodbye.
It's not easy to have to say bye to someone that you expect to see the next day or talk to.
Candles with her initials AJ and dozens wiping away tears.
To not be able to have that person to call or go see anymore, like, is definitely hard.
As they release the purple and gold balloons in her honor.
1, 2, 3.
These lifelong sisters say they won't let her memory fade away.
We'll make sure we do what we're supposed to do as friends, best friends, be here for her boys, her family.
According to a statement from police, the suspect, Christopher Lee Gordon Sr., fled the scene with their 2-year-old son in a red-maroon Ford F-150. Louisville Police Major Matt Meager said in the February 28th press conference that the 10-year-old boy is expected to make a full physical recovery. Initially, police had no clue of Gordon's whereabouts and issued a warning out to the public to keep an eye out for him, but not to approach him, as he was considered armed and dangerous.
Man is on the run tonight after police say he kidnapped his child after killing the mother.
Police say Christopher Gordon could be dangerous as he's now wanted for murder. WLKY's Gladys Batista joins us live tonight. Gladys, this isn't the first time that he's been accused of a violent crime.
Yeah, that's right, Vicky, Stefan. We've been going through his criminal history, and what we found is an array of charges that range from murder in 2009, escape, to domestic violence. In fact, Gordon was due in court 1 week from today for a probation violation, for which there is an active warrant out for his arrest right now. But of course, we do know that the charges that he is likely to face now are much more serious.
He is wanted on fresh charges of murder, and an arrest warrant is being applied for.
Police say 32-year-old Christopher Lee Gordon is the man who turned Quiet Way in Newburgh into a crime scene Sunday evening.
There was an argument. He took the child, came back, another argument ensued, and then the shooting happened.
Neighbors say Gordon hit this car and left these tire marks on the street as he took off. Police then learned Gordon had taken the 2-year-old son he shared with James, Kaysen Gordon, which set off an Amber Alert. Gordon's family called LMPD a short time later to say he had dropped off the child to loved ones and the child was safe.
Christopher Gordon will go on a 4-day manhunt before finally being captured by police.
You're asking that any bond that the court sets would include a written backfire order directing him to have no guns. We are asking for a written no contact order, which includes no contact with the family members of the deceased, as well as no contact with the 10-year-old minor victim.
On video conference, Christopher Lee Gordon appeared in court Friday morning. He is charged with murder and assault in the first degree and possession of a handgun. Gordon is accused of shooting and killing a woman, as well as shooting a child and also kidnapping a 2-year-old on Sunday. On Friday, he pled not guilty. Prosecutors asked for his bond to be raised to $1 million due to his criminal history. The defense argued that amount for a bond is purely political. It was also stated that the $100,000 bond in place was more than enough for Gordon due to him not being able to afford it. However, the judge increased the bond to $250,000. Gordon is expected back in court on March 14th.